In this episode, we're going to be looking at some spooky pouch carries in orange and black. Let's take a look. If you love knives, flashlights, bags, pouches, all EDC gear, and everything in between, make sure you're subscribed, because why not? It costs you nothing, and it really helps us out. And don't forget to make the algorithm happy by hitting that like button as well. We appreciate it in advance. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, I've got a couple of orange and black themed carries here. These are everyday carries that you can carry, and I thought that I would first start with the Maxpedition Micro Organizer. Now this is a very well-known organizer. I have used it. You can see it's frayed up here. That's because I had it in a pocket with Velcro at one point. But it's got nice YKK zippers. It's got a little mesh pouch on the outside here. You don't have any hook and loop, but they do sell some now with, I believe, some hook and loop right here, so where you can put patches and whatnot. But I've kept this pretty stock. I haven't really changed anything about it. And so this is the Maxpedition Micro Organizer. Let's take a look inside. And again, these YKK zippers, they self-lubricate. And so this one is very well lubricated because I've used this pouch a lot. All right, you'll see here, this is just a basic toolkit. Now I will tell you that I'd use this every day. I mean, I use every tool in it every day, but I use it every day. And so with Maxpedition, what you get is you get some spandex kind of stretchy material here for putting different tools in. You've got 2 over here, 3 over here, and then you've got a pocket behind these to where you can put something. I don't have anything in there right now, but you got that on both sides. Then you've got a hook, a little loop up here that you can loop something in. I've got a little scraper up here, so we'll talk about each of these individually here as we keep going. First is the James brand Cash River. Now this is a little driver set. We'll go ahead and move this. This is a little driver set, and it is, I'm telling you, on ball bearings, it's smooth as silk. So you unscrew the top here, and you got storage for a couple of bits. I've got a couple of bits, and they're held in there magnetically, so you have to kind of shake at them pretty good to get them out. But I will put this, and it's got a real stubby end to it. It's got a magnetic closure on the top there, and then of course you screw this back on, and you can drive a bit. It's very simple as that. This top part right here is the one that rotates around, and it's got a really nice action here. You can just do that. Very, very nice. The James brand Cash River. I don't know why they named it the Cash River, but I know there's a lot of hate for some James brand stuff. I don't get it. I get that it's a little bit more pricey than it probably should be. This one comes in at around 60 bucks, I believe, and it's just a driver, but at the same time, it's a really nice driver, and of course, it's in black as well. And you get a couple of little bits with it as well, and it's got magnets all over it. Those bits are not going anywhere. The James brand Cash River. This is one of my favorite lights. This is the Through Night Archer Mini. And I love this little light. You can see I've got a little bit of wear and tear on it as I've been using it. Now the cool thing about this light is that you think, well, it's way too small, you know, compared to whatever. Let's just take a regular size pin here and show you exactly how big this thing is. It's not very big at all, but I love the design of this, and I'll show you a few close-ups as well. But the great thing about this light is it's the smallest light that I can find, I think, that charges via USB-C. Amazing stuff. I love the little click on it. You can actually hold it in and do some, you can double click for brighter. You can, one click is off, one click is on, double click for brighter. It's just really, really nice. I love the feel of this. It's relatively cheaper than most lights its size, and it charges USB-C. It's got a reverse deep carry pocket clip, but also a reverse clip on it so that you can put this on a hat if you would wish, and just really, really awesome. Love this little light. Now we'll go with the 2 tools that I have in here, the 2 very simple tools that I have in here. This is just a nice tiny 4-inch crescent wrench. And again, you think, well, you've got the Knipex Mini Cobra pliers here, and these are, I think, what's called the water pump pliers. And these are pricey. This is not very pricey. But why would you, Chad, why would you have both of these? Well, the reason why I have both of these is because when I'm taking apart a server rack, I know exactly how big those bolts and nuts are on that, and I can adjust this and I can use these from time to time in exactly the configuration that I want to. So I can grab that and go, and again I can adjust it. It's got a little measurement there on the top end where you can see exactly how far out you are. And on this gets rid of different things. I can adjust this very, very wide, as you can see on the Knipex, and I can usually pull off anything that I want. I'm going to put some grips on here as well. I'm going to put some probably gaff tape or maybe some Ranger bands on here, because these are just really awesome little tools. And again, all the links will be in the description. Just going to do a quick carry here, but this is the Knipex Cobras and the Crescent wrench here, the 4-inch variety. And then the thing that's on the loop here, and of course you've got a loop right at the top of the Maxpedition micro organizer. This is one of your tiny little night eyes scraper tools, and I really love this tool. I've had it for a very long time. It's a very good little scraper. It can also double as a bottle opener, and also a flathead screwdriver in a pinch. And I've never really used it. As you can see, I've never really used it for a flathead screwdriver there, especially since I've got my driver in the kit. But this is just really nice to be able to use in a pinch, and I've used this to scrape a number of many things, and it has really worked really well. The great thing about this is that it's cheap, and you don't have to worry about breaking it, so you can really pry something open. I've pried open panels, computer panels, electrical panels with this. It's just been a really nice workhorse. I've had it for a number of years. And then last but not least is the knife that I have in this kit. And if you want to talk about really good and really cheap, this is the SwissTech Word Dig. And I'm going to do a dedicated video on both instances of this knife. There is a green micarta version. This is the black G10 version, hence the black and orange theme, but you've got the red accents on this. I'm not going to say too much about this because this video coming out with the SwissTech stuff is going to be just in a few days. So probably in about 10 days, you'll see the dedicated video on these. But I was incredibly surprised by, look, watch this action. It's a really good little knife. Now, it has AUS 8 steel, so not the greatest steel in the world. But when you see the price tag of this, when you look at this and you say, well, man, that's a $40 knife. That's a $50 knife, right? This knife is 29 bucks. 29 bucks. Now, there is a caveat. The only place that I've found that you can get them is through Walmart. They don't sell them on Amazon. I don't think they sell them on the SwissTech website, as a matter of fact. But I'll talk a little bit more about that in depth. But this is a really nice action ball bearing blade. G10 AUS 8 steel, so it's gonna dull fairly quickly. AUS 8 is a decent steel. It's not the worst, certainly, but it's gonna dull fairly quickly, so you're gonna have to keep it sharpened. But at the same time, as a work knife, something that I have to use as a pry bar, something that I have to use as opening boxes, packages, maybe even cutting LAN cables with and other types of cables if I need to, this actually does the trick really well. Nice, cool round thumb stud right there. Of course, you've got the flicker thing right here. I don't even know what the name of that thing would be, but then you've got a place for a lanyard. They give you a little included lanyard. You've got these cool red accents, and then you've got a deep carry pocket clip, which is not bad. It's sort of not flimsy, sort of a little flimsy, but again, it's a very, very good knife for what you pay for it. $29 at Walmart. I'll have this linked in the description, and be sure to subscribe to the channel so that you get the video here that we're going to have in about 7 to 10 days on this knife, the micarta version, and also a little bit of a surprise in that video as well. Okay, let's move on to the Data Crew. This is the Data Crew Junior What a Slider pouch. This is in the orange, and it's not the canvas orange. It's the kind of shiny orange. It feels like a basketball. That's what it feels like. It feels and looks like a basketball. But you can get the junior sliders. The junior sliders are the ones that are a little bit more slim. They're not really fat like the regular Data Crew sliders are. And these are, from what I can see, filming this on the 29th of October, there's a couple of different colors that are still readily available. So all you guys that complain about I'm doing stuff that's not available, I'm sorry, especially when you've got 1 or 2 man shops that are making a lot of these things. I'm sorry about the availability on certain things, but this should be a pouch. The junior water sliders should be available, and make sure you check the links in the description below as well. So I've got a couple of different patches on here. This is a Samus Aran patch from Metroid, if you're familiar with Nintendo, and I got this from Etsy, and I'll link that seller below. Also, I believe a Game Over patch is also from Etsy. It's just a simple little Ranger eye here. This one, the pouch is right. I believe that's from Data Crew as well. And then I've got just a regular Velcro patch here from Phoenix Lighting, and you'll see why on the inside. I've got a Phoenix light on the inside. And by the way, Phoenix lights, I've been a fan of Phoenix for a long time, and I've just now been able to get in touch with them doing the YouTube channel, and they have sent some things. If you didn't catch my flashlight video, I'll link that right there. There you go. And then you can check out the Phoenix lights there. I've got a number of other Phoenix products that I'm going to be talking about here in the next few weeks, including the light that's in here that I've been using for quite a long time. So you've got a zipper pouch on the outside. You've got zipper YKK zippers, waterproof on the outside. You've got a stretchy spandex-like panel right here. Overall construction is superb, and of course the whole front is hook and loop. You can fill this up with any number of Ranger eyes that you want. Before we go to the inside, I do want to give a shout out. I usually try to keep a coin, like a challenge coin, with me. This one is just appropriate for the time. This is a galleon made out of, I believe this is aluminum, and this is solid aluminum. This was forged by my friend Ryan. He lives over in Chapel Hill, Tennessee, and he has his own forge, and he made this Harry Potter Gringotts galleon. So if you're a Harry Potter fan, he made this personally for me. Super nice. It feels just like a real coin. It feels like you could go spend it right now. Super cool. I thought that was neat to put in there for a Halloween carry. Make sure you get in touch with me if you would like to maybe get Ryan some business there. So as we open this up, you can see it's a themed carry, absolutely. And I want to start off first by talking about the Zero Feud kind of key fidget here. This is a key fidget. It's got a silver. If I'd have known that I was going to do black and orange carry with this later, I would have done black around here. But this is the Zero Feud kind of keyboard fidget. This is the single version. And I've got a nice little clicky thing on there. You can drive your co-workers crazy with one of these. I've got a 2 version, a black version right here with yellow on it for like my Ultim carry. And this one, I mean, it's just so satisfying. Listen to that. Let me let you listen to it. Gracious. If that annoys you, I apologize. But anyway, love these little fidgets, and I'm fortunate to work in a place where I can close my door and I have my own office, and so really nice to be able to just think and just sit there and just kind of fidget with this thing. Really nice, not very cheap, but thought it was cool because it's got orange on it, and it's a really neat little carry as well. So let's move to the interior of the pouch. Right here you can see you got hook and loop on the inside, as is typical with any water slider that you get from Data Crew. And I've got my Run EDC in orange, and I got this from Tom at Notorious EDC. I've got a couple of different versions of this. These are really cool to find. Of course, that's a play on Run DMC, and if you grew up in the 90s, if you grew up in the 80s, you know exactly what that is. Got a couple of cool things to show you here. Everything couldn't be orange. I did not have an orange flashlight, but since we talked about Phoenix before, we'll talk about the flashlight first. This is the Phoenix LD02, and this is just a solid, small little light. It's tiny, it's bright. You can see it's a little bit beat up. I've used it a little bit. It's got a good carry pocket clip, and it gets very bright. You can just tap on the tail switch there and get a number of different brightness settings. But this one does only go and charge by one AAA battery. And so if you need a AAA battery, I've got a cheap Amazon Basics in here right now, but you could get one of those rechargeable in-a-loop batteries, or you could use one of those ones that has the USB-C cable in it. I don't even know if they actually sell those in AAA sizes. But this is a very good little light. It gets surprisingly bright for its size. And again, I'll give you a comparison here. Just to a normal pen, this size right here, it's very tiny. It's going to go anywhere that you want it to go. And again, the Phoenix LD02, check out all of their offerings as well from Phoenix. Great company, great people. All right, let's go over here, and I've got another James brand. I actually did not plan on the James brand, but this is a special edition Ellis, and I'm a big fan of field notes. And when the special edition DDC Ellis came out, I had to get it because it was in orange. I love orange. This is a really cool knife. It's sophisticated looking, but it's really, really functional as well. And so if I open up this blade, you'll see that it's just your standard little drop point, but it's also got half serration here. So if you need to kind of saw through a rope or anything like that. And then you've got the DDC Drapeland Design Company 264, the Ellis. And then it's got, I love this right here, always cut away from yourself. And so really, really awesome on that blade. And it does not lock. So if you live in a country where you have to have a non-locking blade, the Ellis is actually a really good option. You've got a lanyard hole, but also a scraper slash flathead screwdriver if you need it. I've never used it for this though. Again, I like to use proper screwdrivers for those types of things, but I suppose in a pinch you could use this as well. This is just orange G10 on the other side, and the version I'm gonna link in the description below is just the plain regular Ellis that should be available. Now these will cost you a pretty penny on the secondary market because I think they were limited editions, but you can get a green one, black one, white one for decently cheap. So you got the blade right here, and then you've got my favorite feature about this knife is a killer, absolute killer pair of scissors. This pair of scissors on the Ellis they're unbelievable. I'll just go ahead and say it. They're unbelievable. They're just as good, if not better than Victorinox scissors. Incredible quality on these. They do the, John Gadget has his paracord test. That's actually a really good test. If you can snip paracord in just one snip with these scissors, and you can do that. So the James brand Ellis, I know that James brand gets a lot of flack for being a little too expensive, or maybe being too, I don't know, what's the term the kids use these days? Bougie, a little too bougie. But I tell you what, excellent, excellent little knife. It would be an excellent substitute for any kind of Victorinox that you have. Okay, moving over here, speaking of Victorinox, I've got just your standard SD in the special edition 2021 version, and this is in the A-locks. And again, there's nothing special about this one. It's just an SD. You've got a blade here. You've got a file with a driver, and I'm duplicating obviously a little bit of the stuff from the James brand here, but then you've got an excellent little pair of scissors. And so if you needed to take this out from your kit and drop it in your pocket, this would be one of those things. It weighs almost nothing. It's got a tremendous pair of scissors on it with a great little blade on it. You always cannot go wrong with Victorinox, and I love that A-locks in orange. It's fantastic. This is an interesting one that I got back, probably, it may have even been last summer. This is a Boker out the front, and it's the cheapest out the front that I've found. Now, it is very small. If I compare it to the classic SD, it is actually really small, but it's an out the front. So if you hit it, you've got a nice little, about a 2-inch blade here, less than a little bit of 2-inch blade. Let's see here. I've got a little bit of a, yeah, it's about a 1 3/4 inch blade, and just a nice little thing. It's called the Boker USB, and it's about as big as a USB. That's where they got the name for it, I believe. But it doesn't, the only negative, I believe, is it doesn't have a belt clip. You could probably add one back here by sticking it on if you wanted to. It does have a lanyard hole, so you could do that, but it's just a cool little out the front. You can see on here it's Boker, and this one's got D2 steel on it as well, so not too bad. Really cool little thing. I think I got this for like 45 bucks. Got it down at Mark's Outdoor Sports in Birmingham, Alabama. I think I maybe got this down back in the spring. But really cool. If you want to get your feet wet into OTFs, out the front knives, and you don't want to pay an arm and a leg for one from like Microtech, then this is the way to go. And I just really love it. And it's got the fidget factor. It's a pretty decent little knife. All right, and last but not least, this one doesn't require a whole lot of explanation here. And this is just a nice little orange Scrypto Lighter. With the fall coming around and bonfires, you want to be the guy that somebody says, man, my lighter ran out of fluid, or I can't light this fire because, and then you can swoop in with your EDC kit and say, no, here's my Scrypto, here's my Bic lighter, and I've got it, and I can for sure take advantage of that situation and get you fixed up. So thought that was cool. That was her orange carry. Tell me what you think. Do you think all this stuff is dumb? Do you think all this stuff, these themed carry videos are dumb? Do you think I'm stupid and my voice sounds stupid? Huh? What do you think? Because a lot of you have sounded off and told me exactly what you think, and a lot of you have been incredibly kind. Could I put more stuff in this? Probably. But I love how it just comes together, and you've got a nice little portable kit here, along with your Maxpedition pouch as well. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Halloween, everybody. Thank you so much for the support. We are marching towards 10K, and as I record this, we're at 9,400. So only 600 to go until we reach 10K. I am so excited. Thank you so much. Make sure you like and subscribe and share the video. Make sure you comment. I would love to hear what you think. Don't be mean, because I'll send it right back to you, okay? Don't be mean about it, but let's be nice and have a conversation about EDC. Thank y'all so very much. Go out and have a great rest of your week.